Dragons are the talk of the town right now thanks to the popular HBO streaming series House of Dragons. But guess what? They don't just exist in the realms of legend, fantasy, and the universe of Game of Thrones. Did you know that there are also famous dragons in the comics as well? Welcome back, Nerd Squad. It's me, Amanda, although obviously today I am dressed as Adam Eve from Invincible for Halloween. If you could have any mythical beast as a pet, which one would it be and why? Number 10. Fang Foom. Fang Foom is probably one of my favorite dragons from Marvel Comics. He's kinda ridiculous, but also a powerhouse. Recently in the comics, Fang Foom was given quite the stern talking to and trouncing by Iceman, which if you think means that Foom is not as strong as I'm claiming, you'd actually be wrong. It's more that Bobby just is that strong in comparison. Fang Foom, like some other dragons who undoubtedly will be mentioned here on our list, is not a literal dragon, but more of an alien who just happens to look a lot like a dragon. Perhaps a dragonoid alien if you prefer, if that's a thing we could say. Fang Foom hails from the world of Kakaranthara, also known as Maklu 4. Makluans, like Foom, while resembling dragons in their standard form, are actually known to be shapeshifters. Initially, he and his crew came to Earth to conquer it, arriving in ancient China. And friends, before we move on to our next spot on this list, if you love dragons as much as I do, be sure to let us know you love them by clicking that subscribe button. Number 9. Fire Dragon. The Fire Dragon is Surtur's dragon in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is not technically a comic, obviously, but it is comic inspired. It's inspired by comics. So for the purpose of this list, we're just gonna count it. We're gonna count the MCU. If you've got a problem with that, you can let me know in the comments. Also though, it's my list, so MCU, here we come. Also, Surtur having a fire dragon is just super cool. Surtur's pet dragon appears in Thor Ragnarok, and sadly is pretty short-lived. After attempting to take on Thor, who basically temporarily defeats Surtur and then is about to dip, Thor not only gets away pretty much unscathed, denying the fire dragon his Norse god meal, but also successfully defeats the dragon kinda by accident by calling on the Bifrost Bridge, which decapitates the fearsome beast just as he's about to catch up to and swallow Thor. Number 8. Aethyr. Aethyr is actually known to be a Kryptonian god. He exists within the Phantom Zone. Aethyr was created by Steve Gerber and Gene Colan, making his first appearance in the Phantom Zone issue number 3. The Phantom Zone was a series that was released in 1982, a limited 4-issue mini where we explore the ultimate Kryptonian prison known as the Phantom Zone. It's believed that Aethyr is one of the few beings who is native to the Phantom Zone and actually has control over it. However, Aethyr, like others of his time period, was relegated to existing solely on Earth 1. Number 7. Shou-Lao. Shou-Lao is the famous dragon who is associated with Iron Fist. In order to earn the power of Iron Fist, you must defeat Shou-Lao to prove yourself worthy. Shou-Lao is where the Iron Fist originally gets their source of power, with Shou-Lao being defeated and reborn multiple times throughout history. The immortal dragon is also known for being the source of Kunlun's power. Danny Rand once defeated Shou-Lao in combat in order to earn a part of its power and become the hero known as Iron Fist. During this fight, Danny also ended up with a dragon-shaped tattoo burned into his chest, representing his fearsome opponent, which is where that comes from. Now there is also a new Iron Fist at Marvel Comics who has inherited the power of Shou-Lao, known as Lin Li. Seeing Li as his successor, Danny Rand decided to take Li under his wing and help him complete his training as Iron Fist. Number 6. Drakul Karfang. Drakul Karfang is the main antagonist for the JLA A League of One story. In this story, Wonder Woman takes on the ancient dragon Mano a Mano after learning of a prophecy wherein whoever faces Drakul will be fated to die. And the dragon will also probably die, but you die too. This causes Wonder Woman to disable the rest of the League so that she might face the dragon alone and save them. This dragon is a real bona fide dragon of ancient legend over at DC Comics. The skeleton of Drakul was also kept in the Hall of Justice, down in the basement, after it was defeated by Wonder Woman. Drakul would later be resurrected by Wonder Woman while she was possessed by Cersei, but would subsequently be defeated when Wonder Woman regained control of her physical form. Number 5. The Great Protector. The Great Protector in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is the dragon who becomes an ally to Shang-Chi during his fight against the Dweller in Darkness, another dragon-like being that Shang-Chi and the people of Tao Lao are forced to fight against after the being is freed from its imprisonment by Shang-Chi's father, Zhu Wenwu. The fact that it also gets to end with an epic dragon battle is just like icing on the cake. It's pretty sweet. While some believed the Great Protector would actually be Fang Foom in this movie, it turns out that this theory ended up being incorrect, and the Great Protector is firmly cemented as being its own being in the MCU. Number 4. Drogon. Now I know what you're thinking, but wait a minute, Amanda, Drogon is from Game of Thrones. That's a novel. Sure, and a live-action television series created by HBO. Yes, but that is not a comic book, right? Actually, in this case, wrong. Game of Thrones was adapted into not just a live-action series, but also into a graphic novel form by Dynamite Comics starting in 2011. During issue number 24 of the comic series, we see Daenerys Targaryen, as she does in the books and show, give birth to her baby dragons. While they aren't named by the end of the issue, fans of the series and books would already know them by their names, one of the most fearsome of them being Drogon. Drogon, of course, being named after Khal Drogo, the Khaleesi Dany's deceased husband. R.I.P. Khal Drogo. Number 3. Barbatos. Well, you might know Barbatos as the Bat God who is one of the main antagonists as part of the overarching Dark Knight story arc, extending through to Dark Knight's death metal. Did you know, on top of being a Bat God, that he is also a dragon? In Dark Knight's death metal issue number 4, it explains where Barbatos came from and what his purpose is, as well as those who came before him and their connection to the cosmos. Barbatos actually possesses a cosmic dragon physiology, due to him being created by the World Forger to act as his great dragon. Literally, that's the title. Barbatos' job as the Great Dragon was to destroy any twisted worlds that came into existence, but knowing only destruction, he ended up instead turning on his master, and these darker worlds that were forged were basically left unchecked, which grew and grew more and more dark, becoming known as the negative Earths of the Dark Multiverse, and creating, in essence, the Dark Multiverse. Number 2. Lockheed. If Fang Foom is one of my favorites, Lockheed is definitely my ultimate favorite dragon when it comes to Marvel Comics. Lockheed, like Foom, is also not technically a dragon, but a dragonoid alien. However, the name of his alien race is a little more mysterious in the comics. We simply know them as the Flock, which isn't really the name of the race, but instead is kind of the name of the hive mind that they share. The Flock. Lockheed, amongst his fellow space dragons, was actually known to be a fearsome warrior, champion, and even hero, but after meeting Kitty Pryde and the X-Men, Lockheed decided to leave his flock behind to instead join Kitty and the mutant team. Apparently, Lockheed did this at what seems to be a great cost to him, as he also left behind his fiancée, who he was supposed to wed literally the day after he left. Lockheed has been a stalwart companion to Kitty and the X-Men ever since. Number 1. Savage Dragon. Savage Dragon actually hails from Image Comics, where he operates as a hero and cop, and while his name has the word dragon in it, he's also not really a dragon. In fact, initially, he doesn't really know who he is, having lost his memory prior to the start of the story. Savage Dragon is later revealed to be an alien from another world, who in turn is later revealed to have basically been like an evil warlord, although in being made to forget this, he ultimately turns around and then becomes a hero instead, which is how we initially know him as Savage Dragon. Now, the current Savage Dragon is actually not the original, he's the son of the original. His name is Malcolm Dragon, and he's a teenage superhero basically trying to walk in his father's heroic footsteps. Savage Dragon is a superhero who has been around since the 90s, becoming popular enough to garner his own self-titled series. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. I have been your host Amanda. Till next time, you stay nerdy, YouTube. Bye!